Just a communications director for the Republican National Committee. We caught us in the middle of a conversation here. Sean Spicer. Sean, good to see you.
Good to see you.
What is the DEFCON 1? It could be DEFCON 1.
It could be 1 if Giuliani's a pick, but go ahead.
We'll put a button on that conversation. Let's talk about some of the positions out there. Sean, NBC News confirming that Lieutenant General Michael Flynn has accepted Donald Trump's offer to be National Security Advisor. Smart choice, good choice. Any concerns for you in terms of ties to Russia?
What do you expect him to say?
Well, first, I think it is very likely that there'll be some announcements in several areas later today, later this morning. Lieutenant General Flynn is probably one of the brightest choices that you could ever ask for NSA. If Donald Trump goes out and makes some of these things official, and again, one of the things that I think you all understand is that President-elect Trump, until he says it's official, it's not official. And that's been the way he's run his business, the way he ran his campaign, and the way that he'll run his administration. But you look at the people that he surrounded himself, whether it's Lieutenant General Flynn, General Kellogg, General Keane, the people who have come in and out, Fred Smith, all of these people with foreign policy, military experience, know-how, it is top flight all around. I mean, the people coming in and out of Trump Tower are the best and the brightest. Henry Kissinger was there yesterday. I mean, he continues to meet with people from all over the foreign policy, military affairs world. They're making sure that he's going to be ready.
Why meet with Mitt Romney?
Several reasons. But I think what I think is the most is that it shows how magnanimous he is. It sends a clear signal that it's not about political affiliation, whether you support him or not. It's about whether or not you want to help move this country forward, plain and simple. And you've seen that he has met with Ted Cruz and others who weren't necessarily huge supporters of his. He's met with Democrats, independents, Republicans. His goal is to pick the highest quality and caliber of individuals to advance the agenda that's going to make the country better. That's it, plain and simple. And so for Mitt Romney, I think it sends a very clear signal to everyone that this is about a guy who is going to pick people, regardless of their background or their political affiliation, if they're willing to bring ideas to the table to advance the agenda.
And could he reasonably pick somebody for Secretary of State who's been publicly kind of at odds with Donald Trump?
Sure. Again, I think that you have seen since 2 a.m. Wednesday morning when he took that stage that this is a guy who understands the role of president and is going to be a great leader. And it's the people he's met with, the caliber, the diversity, the quality, and the words that he spoke and show that he is ready to take this country forward.
So, Sean, this lobbying ban. So Obama tried to have a lobbying ban, and they had one, and it didn't work out because there were all these pseudo-lobbyists who weren't actually lobbyists, who went and were consultants for special interests. Is there a plan in place to go to the next level on this?
Well, this is the next level. This is, I mean, think about how forward-thinking this is, right? It always used to be about what you did in the past. What Trump's view is that it's about the future. It's forward-thinking. It's saying you can't be a lobbyist for 5 years after you assume a position in the Trump administration, and you have a lifetime ban on representing a foreign government. Why is that important? Because when you come into a Trump administration, your goal should be helping and serving the country, not helping and serving yourself.
That's great, but a lobbyist, is a narrow definition, right? So how about the people who are pseudo-lobbyists, who are consultants for special interests, but not actual lobbyists?
Because the law says that if you file a lobbying disclosure form and register as a lobbyist in a federal state, then you're banned. I mean, there's no other way except for...
Should we expand that definition, though, of a lobbyist?
Well, right now we have to go with the laws that are on the books and show that this is the kind of thinking and vision that he has, that people who come into a Trump administration are there to serve this country and advance Donald Trump's agenda, not to serve themselves.
So talk about inside. How crazy is it inside there right now? How many applications? 47,000?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, in terms of you see the list of these people coming in and out of that door at Trump Tower, and then the stuff that's coming in online. We did over 50,000 applications for people who want to fill the 4,000-plus government jobs. We launched 3 sets of landing teams. The first one, the National Security Team, Department of State, Department of Defense, Department of Justice, and NSC, hit the ground today. Those are people designated by the president-elect to meet with people designated by the current president at the various departments and agencies, so that they can begin that transition process over the next 60 days. There's a similar team that's going to launch on the domestic side and on the economic policy side and independent agencies Monday and Tuesday of next week. But this will ensure that on day one, everything's ready to go.
Sean, I know you got to run, but I want to ask you real quickly what you saw Election Day last week that a lot of people, including people inside the Clinton campaign, did not see that was going to happen that night.
Well, I mean, Joe and some other folks have talked about this. We spent $200 million in data to really understand where voters were, what was making them tick, who we thought we could get, and we saw that path, that movement towards Donald Trump in states like Michigan and Minnesota and Wisconsin a couple weeks out and said, we think this is where this thing's headed. Here are the people that we think we have left to get. Here's the unallocated vote that we can get those from. And we went out and door knocked, pulled them, pushed them. Trump was on the air. It was very strategic the last 14 days. And that's what real good enriched data does.
And that was an RNC data operation, not the Trump campaign.
It was a combined effort. But, I mean, it was an investment Reince Priebus made 4 years ago and said, I'm going to take out a loan and start investing $200 million. The Trump campaign philosophically and in every other way bought in on it way back after the Indiana primary and said, we like this, this is perfect. And we melded together and put together probably the best campaign that anyone's seen.
It worked to huge effect. Sean Spicer,
thank you.
Congratulations. Good to see you.